Christine replied, hinting that they were possibly actually looking at her breasts. She then revealed that she had asked her mother what nickname by which she could be called, and claimed that Barbara liked to be referred to as Barb-chan Rosechew.
No, really?
On June 21st, upon seeing a photo of two males with long hair kissing with a large plush doll of Pikachu in the background, Chris claimed that it looked like a distant alternate timeline view of herself and Megan Schroeder, in which they became romantically entangled. Also on that day, Christine told The Watchman that as she was rereading Chapter 5 of Warhol Chris-chan, wherein Lasham discussed the possessions Chris lost in the house fire of 2014, she became overly stressed while driving the family van and so defecated in her panties. Fortunately, her period pad managed to catch much of her excrement. The WCT told her to cherish what possessions she still had, while also reflecting on his own similar experiences. Chris then showed off her 4 wedding rings that she wore to symbolize her supposed marriages to each of her 4 spouses. The next day, she continued to reflect on her thoughts from reading Chapter 5 via a 21-tweet thread, during which she discussed whether having money truly equated to success, before moving on to revelations regarding King Arthur, Merlin the Magician, and living deities, concluding with the message that she never needed massive amounts of money in her immortally lifelong job as a goddess. Later on, one of Christine's Twitter enablers wrote pensively that they wished they could do what Chris did and pretend that the people they loved that had passed away were not really dead and were actually a fucking cartoon or something. Christine dismissed the tweet, reiterating that her beliefs were fact. Kristen direct messaged the user upon reading that they were going through a bunch of losses and major shit concerning their family members, with which she empathized and felt. Chris wrote that their personal losses resulted in the enabler's spiritual upgrades and transformation. She further elaborated that the ones the enabler recently lost were removed because they no longer required them. Chris sent positive vibes and love to them through her messages to encourage self-love and self-healing. During this time, Watchman Not, or Bismuth, got banned from Kiwi Farms by Null, the site's administrator, for using alternate accounts. When Not asked WCT if he could use his account, Not was denied access. The WCT's personal information was then leaked on the Kiwi Farms, and the WCT believed that it was Not who had doxed him using a different account. The WCT then privately urged Christine to leave the place, and tried to arrange for a time they could discuss the matter over a Discord voice chat, with Chris stating that she was unavailable for the next couple of days because Barbara planned to sort out and dispose of some more boxes with her help, and Christine herself was in a lengthy period of major upgrades and transformation. On June 23rd, Christine wrote on Twitter in regards to her recent calling of her mother, Barbie-chan, because, according to Chris, Barbara told her that she did not like to be called Barb, as was commonplace within the Christorical community. Only Chris was entrusted to call her Barbie-chan, while she asked everyone else to refer to her as Barbara, not Barb. Later on, Chris-chan follower, the Sergeant-at-Arms, posted his pixel art illustration of Chris-chan across 4 stages of their life, with Christine criticizing her middle adulthood depiction's face having a too aged look. Also, the tarot card drawn for that day was schizophrenia, which Chris perceived as her followers needing to follow their heart and instinct because they felt conflicted. Possibly feeling conflicted in finding a positive outlook from the card for herself, she drew another card labeled "We Are the World" to show that she stood by her conflicted followers. On June 24th, in a rare occurrence, Christine drew the schizophrenia card again, perceiving that her audience was still feeling conflicted, or that they were experiencing multiple issues. Later on, she tweeted about her opinions on conventions that she had attended, praising BronyCon and having positive opinions of the upcoming BabsCon. She posted a photo of a handwritten page summarizing her thoughts, highlighting that her being asked to leave the Too Many Games convention in 2018 was part of a trollish setup and trap. She closed by revealing that unbeknownst to the general public, she had attended several local stamp and rock conventions, during which she felt neutral vibes. On June 25th, Chris and the WCT had a voice chat concerning drama in the Place Discord server.
Yeah, tell me, what's been going on with you? Like, with all the, yeah, just tell me.
I'm too out of it.
Well, everything continuing on with the Dimension Merge and all the other events related to, and so on and so forth, and further
alcohol.
upgrade my body and
Probably
my
try to see you
energy
guys.
and all that. It's still a major process. And it's like my auras and my consciousness has literally been able to expand to the size of our total complete universe, and that's counting both halves, between 1218 and C197.
So can you explain to me about like Barbie-chan?
Oh, what? It's just Barbara,
Oh, okay. So Barbie-chan is Barbara. Yeah. How's your mother doing?
Yeah, she's doing okay. We're doing pretty good. She actually felt like doing some work today. We had a bunch of boxes and stuff stored behind the bar, and we cleared out a bunch of the non-picturesque boxes and trash. We cleared them out. That filled up a few trash bags, and she had the energy to do it, so that was good.
The WCT then asked from Christine her history with the other members of the Watchmen, before reaching the conclusion that Knot, Kyle, and Maker had ill intentions and negative traits that she felt were undesirable. WCT also disclosed that Knot was allegedly a minor member of the Miscreants' inner circle of trolls, and could allegedly be heard in a mumble call with Christian from February
I forgot about
2009.
Mumble.
He then showed Chris all the evidence he had collected, which apparently proved it was Knot who had doxed him, in addition to chat screenshots and recorded voice chats, displaying Knot's animosity towards WCT and Kyle and Maker's complacency.
I remember
So
that.
here we go.
I don't care, dude. Make a post about it on Kiwi Farms, or join up with the lolcow.org people and add to my thread. I don't give a fuck.
I just want to know the truth. Like, what were you
I didn't
doing?
dox you, faggot.
What were you doing between?
If you keep pissing me off, I'm going to dox you.
Wait, who are these two different people?
Dude, I already have been.
No, I'm talking big boy doxing.
Wow. Just fucking wow.
Yeah, gee whiz. I mean, he could do a lot worse than Big Boy doxing, but yeah,
Christian's
that was
been on the
definitely a
worst end of
level
that.
up comparison.
Chris.
Okay, I am feeling a bit of rising anger within me right now, just from hearing that and realizing that. I'm obviously trying to keep myself under control right now, but it's like my aura is between orange and red.
Now, Chris, if you want anything that, if there's anything I can really tell what to do right now, here's what I'm thinking you should do.
I'm listening.
I want you to quietly get out of the place, and I'll give you a new Discord server to let you go into where you can express yourself. In fact, because here's the thing. The Watchmen are on the brink of collapsing.
Oosh.
Like, literally, behind the scenes, it's on the brink of collapsing. Like, they don't want you to know because they sort of want to keep this long train, ongoing. And the thing is, Chris, this is my philosophy regarding you, alright? Even though I may disagree with the things you may do, you are your own person. You are a full-grown adult. And you should never, ever let anybody dictate your activities.
Right on.
Don't let
this someone
Megan,
else
don't let Nova,
manipulating?
don't let Bismuth, dictate anything that you do. Don't listen to them. You're better than that, right?
Yes. Well, among which, definitely surprising to my conscious and mindset and whatnot, but then also kind of rather expected because I foresaw events like this, and I had a deja vu moment just a minute ago, literally while you were talking. I see the signs. Everything's continuing on as foreseen, planned, destined, and everything. So
you foresaw this happening.
yeah, but it's been saved in my backup save files. It was not in my conscious.
Chris, by any means, does this remind you of anything that has happened to you in the past, on the internet?
Yeah, obviously, you could say I was doxxed a number of times before, but that was tame compared to all this, because obviously everything about me was already on the internet. I mean, hell, you remember when Mr. C was like, "Hey, we live I go to Burger King every morning about 9 a.m. So if you want to talk to us, come on down. We'll be happy to talk with you over a cup of coffee."
All right, Chris, I'm going to let you go. I hope you have a good night, and pray for me, man. I'm out.
Continue strong, my fierce lion messenger.
Thank you.
You rock so much, and I give you lots of love.
Thank you.
He's a
All right, well, I'll let you go. You be safe.
You too. Have a good night, Chris.
You too. And we'll talk again soon enough.
I hope. I hope.
In the aftermath of the call, the WCT invited Christine, Anaxis, and a number of other former Watchmen and friends
gotta
to a
be a
new
bad
Discord
person, though, 'cause
server called
that was
the Knights of
recorded.
Quick, which
fact that it's
functioned much in the
recorded
same
makes
way
me feel
as the
like
place, but
that
with
must
the
have been a
intention
bad
of
person.
excluding toxic and manipulative individuals such as Knot, Maker, and Kyle. Christine then discussed Knot with Null, who he recognized as a certain quote-unquote mentally ill anime person who he recently had to ban from Kiwi Farms. Chris agreed and stated her distrust of also Kyle and Maker and her intention to quietly leave the place. Null warned her against joining Discord servers as they were usually bringers of drama. Null then offered to help her find some kind of outlet for talking to her fans. Possibly at around this time, Christine also told Null of her intentions of attending the Everfree Northwest convention in Washington state, which she would travel to by car. Null was against this idea and offered to financially help her get there by plane instead. On June 26th, Null posted on the forums about Chris's plan to attend. Since she had already purchased a pass for the event and booked a hotel room, he asked forum members for what means of fundraising could be created to help her pay for her flight itinerary. He pondered whether a GoFundMe campaign through which Chris would fulfill paid commissions to pay for her trip would be feasible, with many forum members replying with disdain and ridicule. Also on that day, Christine posted her last message in the place, writing that the Dimension Merge was progressing well and that more toxic individuals within her view range became identified. She told the Watchmen that they should get ready for a battle within the ranks, and encouraged all to embrace honesty and enlightenment. She then left the server, along with Caden of Praetor,
misgendering in 2021.
perhaps understanding that the WCT may have had a hand at Chris's leaving. WCT was promptly ousted from the place. At around this time, Chris purchased the book The Ultimate Guide to Sex and Disability, which encouraged people with disabilities to become more open about expressing their sexual desires, exploring fetishes, and not being tied down to notions of normal or abnormal attraction. Christine later claimed that on June 27th, she had sex with her mother Barbara for the first time. It is currently unknown how consensual the incestuous act was, as on some occasions, Chris stated that her mother was initially confused and rejected her advances, while on others, she implied her mother
We finally
encouraged
made
the
it
intercourse,
to this.
possibly literally interpreting a passage in the Guide to Sex book concerning the need for careful planning. Chris would proceed to have sex with her mother once every 3 days. On June 28th, a user on 4chan posted a couple of photos from his visit to Christine's house, claiming he had left for her a bottle of orange Fanta, some fan art, and $20. He then played the flute in front of Chris's dog, Patty Chandler's doghouse, for 20 minutes, during which time Chris allegedly peeked at him through her window. On June 29th, Maker Nightv libelously tweeted that the WCT was a clout-chasing YouTuber who wanted Christine to kill herself, like his YouTube video subject Randy Stair had. She further claimed that he had teamed up with Praetor, further spreading the falsehood that Praetor wanted Chris to tase herself. On July 1st, Christine messaged Maker, telling her that she saw Maker's true ways, placing her into a group she dubbed the Toxic Trio, which also included Knot and Kyle. Chris highlighted that she noticed certain members of the Watchmen were kicked out of the group because they threatened the trio's way of doing things, which included talks of racism, Nazi shit, and other topics which reeked of toxic vibrations. This included sending a threat to Annabelle of Praetor, who fortunately did not read it. Chris further wrote that she was taking care of Maker's original characters and formally parted ways with her. Maker wrote back that she would not apologize for her dark and cringy sense of humor because she had led a difficult life, and that she had called the WCT a faggot because she felt he was trying to use Christine to become famous. She stated she would welcome Chris back after the WCT and his accomplices have abused her. Christine replied that she sensed Maker was insecure about herself and encouraged her to be honest and confident in herself, detailing that she did not need Chris or anyone else to boost her morale. Maker Nightv once more wrote that she needed Christine in her life to get better, while Chris once again told her that she needed to reevaluate her relationship with herself and heal herself. On July 2nd, Chris revealed to the WCT that she was feeling better about herself sexually because she had recently gotten a sex partner from Dimension 1218 that was very satisfactory, who apparently shared her genuine affection. Christine kept her identity a secret, but described her as physically older than herself, considerably fragile, but with great inner strength and power. She later stated that they had known each other for a while, and had sought her out after being encouraged to
it's
do so by her
WCT.
ally deities. Christine restated that her partner wanted her as well. She said that her
girl?
lover lived not far from her and visited and talked with each other
why are they
often.
protecting
She
her?
told WCT that she wanted the relationship to be kept
I
a
didn't realize it
secret
was
as to
her.
avoid toxic and demeaning comments saying how wrong it was.
The one that was
The
trying
next
to get him
day,
to
Chris
get her
showed
to
the
kill herself.
WCT a new massage oil, which she and her mystery
her name
partner
again?
both liked to use on each other. Also on that day, to contribute to recent meme, ara ara, a phrase sultrily uttered by Japanese women, Chris recorded an audio clip for Twitter of herself uttering the phrase.
Ara ara. Ara ara. Ara ara. Lots of love. Ara ara.
On July 4th, Chris tweeted a celebratory message to commemorate the Independence Day of the United States of America, warning those living in hot areas of firework-related accidents. On the 5th, Chris and WCT had a voice chat in the Knights of Quick Discord server, but it was not recorded by any party. During the conversation, they discussed general topics such as the Funko line of collectible figures and the Matrix film franchise. Christine also told
What's
him
her
that
name?
Caden of Prater was planning on helping her buy a PC
Yeah, that's
so
what
she
I'm
could use it
wondering,
for
if
live
it's
streaming
her.
and earning
I
more
don't
money.
remember her name.
They also once again discussed Chris's unknown lady friend, with Chris still withholding her identity and giving her only
But it's
basic
like, why are you
descriptions.
protecting this person?
Also on that day, Christine wrote to Null about her new lover, telling him that since she was older than her, their relationship was like something out of an anime or fanfiction. Chris said that she used a condom for safety and had a doctor's appointment on the 20th of the month to test for sexually transmitted diseases. She declared she no longer believed in hindering labels and started the relationship after much deep thought. When Null asked her for a photo of them together, she declined sharing them, revealing that her partner was in the over 50s in age, and that she had gotten a book for helpful information and guidance. Christine expressed great appreciation in her lover's life, like her fun days in high school and her work as an accountant. She informed Null that she had also told the WCT and Warhol Chris Chan author Don Lasham that she had a new sex partner, but all of them knew as little details as Null did. Chris revealed that they had their quote-unquote romps in the sack every 3 nights, which was something her partner apparently looked forward to, and their sex
we're at the
play
end
made
of
her
it.
grateful
I've
since
drank
they
too
could
much,
explore
so we're
things never
watching
before
YouTube.
tried with her
Sorry.
previous partners. Null encouraged Christine to keep it a secret and not reveal she had a girlfriend even to her most trusted friends. Christine promised that she would not tell of her relationship to anybody else. On June 6th, the WCT's YouTube channel received a strike as one of his
okay, they
videos on
can.
Randy Stair was removed for alleged bullying and harassment. He believed that he was being mass-reported by Knot in retaliation, and so set his YouTube channel to private, filed an appeal, and re-uploaded all his videos to another channel in the meantime. Chris voiced her annoyance by leaving a YouTube comment on another video, telling readers that the series was fairly tame and very informative.
Yes,
On the
Space
7th,
Goose.
Chris sent
What?
to Null a drawing of Kiwi Mac,
Hi,
a pony
Squid
character
Sex.
based on Null, which she
you
intended to
doing?
make into a Twilight Sparkles secret chipfic folder card. She
I
then
drank
wrote
too
a
much.
string
It's
of
my
messages
anniversary
brainstorming
stream.
the flavor
I'm allowed
text
to.
she would put on the finalized card design. The drawing was done to be used as an example of what a custom drawing may look like if a willing donor paid to her fundraiser for the flight to the Brony convention, which was formally launched on July 9th, and further advertised by Chris
I have
via a
two
YouTube video.
controversial opinions of Chris Chan.
Hello, everybody.
You don't wanna
This is
hear 'em.
Christine Chandler coming to you live
them
from
being
home once
my-
again. I'll give you a Captain's
my
log. Start date
opinions.
7/8/2021. There you go. Just an old time callback. But anyway, I am recording this today of one particular, very important,
Okay,
insightful interest.
I have the controversial opinion
ever free
that Chris Chan hasn't done
Northwest,
anything wrong
over in the state
because of the amount
Washington,
of torture she has
over in
received
Bellevue.
throughout her
Yes.
life. It
I
would
am
warp
going to be
anyone's mind completely.
I'm looking forward to meeting you all there, but though I am partially shut up, I'm gonna need like a few more dollars to make sure I'm still covered for
I know. It's a
everything
very
else I'm gonna need
controversial
over the
opinion of
lovely
mine.
weekend.
Very controversial.
Anyway,
I can't
so
openly say it. Be on my
I got a
anniversary
lovely,
stream.
I got a
openly
lovely
saying
guy
it.
who's helping me out, keep my money organized and situated and
brave.
everything.
I'm so brave.
There'll be a GoFundMe by the time this video is uploaded.
The world wanted
and
Chris
you'll be able
Chan to become a
donate that
villain.
directly.
The world
He's managing
rooted
it.
for Chris Chan to become a
You're gonna
villain.
do a very good job. I
And
have faith in
manipulated
this guy.
and tortured
I have
her
faith in him.
so that she could become one.
I wouldn't throw a kiwi at him or anything.
The world
But
wanted
anyway,
to be right. The
I
world
got my
wanted
gator for in case I need to corrupt.
this
But
someone
I got the
weird with
most
a
important
disability
ticket.
to be
This
bad
convention
because
ticket.
it made them uncomfortable.
And got my lovely gloves. Lovely, lovely, lovely gloves. Keep my
Not a
fingers
single person in Chris Chan's voice,
free.
Christian's world, she could trust.
Nah, that's on
But
my
she
phone. though,
trusted
obviously.
everyone,
I mean,
and everyone was manipulating her.
it's
No
gonna
one
be an
was
awesome
real.
time. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody, seeing the old favorite celebrities,
don't blame
old favorite
her for
people that I
anything.
like, from my favorite analysts
Oh my
and
gosh, Christian
other
developed
people
a
I got
sexual
to know
relationship
over
with
the
her
past
mother.
year or
When,
two.
when
through
every
their
other
videos,
person she ever
binging
tried to
them,
date in her
whatnot,
life
got a
was
few more
someone not
favorites of
real
mine.
and torturing
And just
tricking
looking
her.
forward to meeting
Wow, was her mother
all
the
of
only
you.
person in the world
all
that
of you
maybe
lovely
she trusted?
people who were going to be there, my fans and just art appreciators and aficionados and
I'm not saying it's
everything.
right, but I'm saying
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't blame
approachable.
her for
Hugs are free.
anything. I
only
blame
making
everyone
sure
else
you're
in the
fully
world for doing
vaccinated, though,
this
so
to her.
make sure you show the guys at the door your convention ticket.
I'm not gonna make a YouTube video about it
Alright.
though.
So aside from that,
People would be
yeah,
very
I
upset.
need a few bucks, like a few extra thousand, to help me with the weekend for food, for additional details and transportation and hotel, additional
can't.
details, mind
I
you.
can you imagine what
And
people
just
do with that?
Whatever
It's
else.
Christmas.
Yeah, a
can't.
little bit of swag. I want to be able to share some of this, share a little bit
People aren't
for the
gonna have
arts
sympathy
as
for
well.
it until she dies.
Hey, I'm an artist,
And it's
I appreciate
heartbreaking.
and support all other artists. Okay?
She is gonna be a historical figure.
They're insightful. They're linked to the other dimensions as much as I am, if not on
Yeah, it's
matching
gonna take a
levels. 'cause
long time
I'm
for people to
overpowered,
like.
obviously,
People are
but
gonna
anyway,
really
so-
need to be more
Everfree Northwest.
detached. In the way
I'm
of like
hoping to see
detached
y'all
from
there,
this
and I'm looking forward to
timeline,
meeting
if that makes
such
sense.
lovely
like,
new
more
people and seeing
understanding of
lovely old people
disabilities
again. I
and,
don't
like,
mean olders and elderly though. They need
how-
compassion and respect too, mind you.
It goes beyond bullying. What
Aside
happened to
from that-
Christian isn't bullying. It was
Everfree
torture.
Northwest.
It was
Come
all
on down
torture.
and give me a hand to get there, please.
They forced her to
I
violate herself
am heavy at work at this time.
in a
but
video
at the
call.
convention, I'm gonna
to
have a good time,
blackmailing
and I'm
her.
gonna be even more busy. So
It's
I'm looking forward to
insane.
seeing y'all there. I'd like a hand. Thank
No
you very
one
much.
ever wanted Christian to be happy. No one
Over
would
on the
let
fundraising site
Christian find any
GoFundMe,
happiness
the
whatsoever.
campaign, as organized by Joshua Moon,
For her
or Null,
entire
was set
life.
with a goal of
For her
$1,000,
entire
with
adulthood, I should
$750
say.
set to reimburse an already purchased
so
round-trip
fucked
flight,
up.
and the remainder for additional expenses. For $40, fans could request from Christine either a video shout-out or a custom drawing. The fundraiser was also advertised over Twitter, where one follower expressed concern over the fact that
I
Chris's
think
former
people
love
think my
interest
love for
and occultism
Christian
consultant,
is like
Jacob Sockness, had expressed
me wanting
interest in
to
meeting her at the
mock
convention.
Christian, and it's
Christine
not. I'm
wrote
so
back that she was
fascinated by
aware of
all
the
of
threat
this.
and claimed to have plans to have an entourage of protectors around her.
My other
Another
very
Twitter user
controversial
asked
opinion
for
is that
organizers
Christian
of
is
Everfree
Jesus,
Northwest to
the
preemptively ban
resurrection of
Christine due to
Jesus.
her apparent association with Kiwi
Someone
Farms,
who was
which apparently was
persecuted by the
responsible for
entire
the deaths
world.
of numerous people. On July 10th,
And, like,
Chris
is
posted
telling
on
us
Twitter
of, like,
one of her
this,
drawing
like, new
commissions,
world
a
and
reference to a
everything.
short scene from the animated TV series
It
The
makes
Simpsons,
sense, like,
depicting farming
everyone's
supply store
like,
Sneed's Feed and Seed,
Christian,
formerly Chuck's,
you're not
punnishly
Jesus,
implying
ha
when the
ha.
store was under the
Which is, like,
aforementioned
no-
Chuck's
like, no one's
ownership,
rooting
the
for her,
supplies on
nobody.
offer would have followed his name's rhyming scheme, with the
No one
full name of the
listened.
store being Chuck's Fucking Suck. In Chris's illustration, the store had been
It's like
gravely run down,
extremely
as allegedly
controversial
seen
opinion.
in C-197, and mentioned the Twitter account of Simpsons creator Matt Groening, soliciting his opinion.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
July
right,
11th,
Hanks?
Christine
Dude,
tweeted
that's
that
what
she had a
Christian
change of
is going
heart and
through.
reinvestigated the
And, like,
appearance of a
Barb is, like,
background
some
pony
weird-
character in
is
an
gonna become
episode
some
of My
weird
Little
Mary
Pony,
in
Friendship
all
is
this.
Magic, which some believed was an homage, appearance-wise, to Chris-chan, a concept that she had years before dismissed.
What
She
if all
asked
of this is
episode
real?
writer Brittany
Sonichu's
Jo
real.
Flores, voice actress Tara Strong, and Hasbro whether or not the pony was truly based on her, requesting a direct reply from them. She also shared a new drawing depicting Chris-chan Sonichu asking the polo-wearing bespectacled pony whether he was based on Chris-chan. Afterwards, in response to an open question from a Twitter user asking if someone would have sex with an opposite gender version of themselves, Chris wrote in reply, "Personally, I would have sex with my gender-bent opposite, and I'd even do it with a clone of myself. But it still remains on the mood, and if the feeling is mutual. In my interdimensional experiences, it's been positive and successful about 5 to 10% of the time." Later on, Christine asked if there were any available and willing, capable, and inexpensive costume designers who could manufacture for her a costume to have her dress up as her ultimate super form for the upcoming convention. She directed designers to her Gmail email address that was being managed by Null, who she referred to as her loving and awesome partner. Chris-chan enabler Righteous for Quick offered his design for a one-piece spandex suit, which Christine was keen on pursuing further. Finally, Chris posted on Instagram and Facebook 2 photos of Barbara after she had gotten a haircut from Chris. Chris commented that it looked really good. From the outset, Christine's life seemed to have taken a positive turn. With Null's help, she and her followers saw just how much of an active fanbase Chris still had, and just how many were willing to help her reach her life goals, with some perhaps quietly expecting
I
trouble to
hate
follow
whenever you
her
read the
in her new
comments and it's like people
adventures.
hating on Christian. I
However,
can't stand that.
No one could have predicted how her life would soon be dramatically altered forever.
I'm about to show you guys. I'm gonna try to find the video that I feel like everyone should see. And some people watch the video and they make fun of her for it, but like I feel like it's such a peek into how self-aware she actually is. I'm gonna find it 1 second. My champagne keyboard. Christian Compre. See if I gotta find it. Give me a second. I have to find which one it is. It's gonna take me a minute.
7.
How did I find it so
And
quick? I'm so good.
Y'all
That's
been
how much
coming
I've
to the
watched
internet
this.
to like a few.
Everybody should watch this video,
Also
okay?
on that day,
Everybody wake
Christine
up.
uploaded a 15-minute stop-motion Lego animation focusing on Brony, Dr. Wolf, as a therapist for Chris, who discusses her personal struggles regarding the numerous people she liked that had blocked her, parodying the animated YouTube series A Moment with Dr. Wolf, made by Dr. Wolf.
So, Mrs. Chandler, tell me what's on your mind. Well, Doc, on our Earth in Dimension 1218, I am very well known and famous for my creativity and my sci-fi comic books. And I have many fans and followers, amongst which in the fan base, they're trollish haters and harassers. More recently, though, they have been targeting and harassing the Brony analysts that I like. Oh, really? Could not take the blocking anymore! After years of being bullied, deceived, harassed, and blackmailed, not to mention being banned from a few places too. Not to mention, recently, a psychiatrist at Region 10 made me recall that time in the 4th grade when the teacher's aide, aides counselor, and the principal held me pinned down on the floor while audiotaping my screams and cries of anguish.
I hope, yeah, everyone watch this, please. Like, I find this really...
I have
I
a
don't
touch
know.
of OCD from the autism. Some of those analysts have OCD too. In fact, they all have the same fame and internet troll bully problems as I do. I've been online longer than all of them. I have endured and suffered more than all of them together. I was a pioneer in all of this. I could be helped them all cope with support and kindness. And I did try to do that for them. And now they all block me and close me out. It makes me feel like I'm falling into another depression again. I feel like I want to just scream so much. I'm pretty much verging on becoming suicidal. Hell, that's not good at all. That's really not good at all. Oh my, that is quite a troublesome conundrum. I recall the great number of my past patients who had each suffered only a portion of everything you alone had endured. And I agree that you and all those particular analysts could be great teachers to each other in a support group. You have a very strong soul, heart, and senses for kindness, positivity, and justice. It is a major crime for anyone to close you out, because you are plenty capable of becoming a really good ally or friend for most anyone. Although, Christine, the analysts may see you as only one fan out of thousands of others, I see you more as a peer of theirs, as you have created more than tons of what they call content in your comic books. Does all this make sense with you? Fairly, more or less. I do, to the best of my abilities, take others' perspectives and feelings into account, but I'm not always able to. I, the soul, am able to remain fluid in processing thought and speech, but to have to work with and around the brain in this body, my process can easily get interrupted. It is often prone to the autism. It can even fall into becoming seriously retarded, especially when it feels overloaded, overworked, very sad, angry, or upset, and so forth. It shuts off and leaves me disabled. If anything ought to be known about me by others when evaluating me, it's the stability and fragility of this body's brain. And when one also considers the adage, treat others how you like to be treated, I feel like if I stop my efforts to show the analysts that I am normally likable and cool to talk with, and simply make them stop not liking me, they will feel not liked by me, and they will feel at least a little bit saddened by that, as well as the torture knowing or thinking I didn't like any of them, and my not liking them becomes virally popular by the haters and the harassers all over the world. It would put an end to their popularity, egos, and especially their emotions, feelings, of subconsciousness. And I can empathize with that. It would just be like a whole major end to them. It would just be so horrific and terrible. I would not be able to get over that. I would not be able to, just because I did all that. It's my fault, my fault. Now let it continue on, not just because of my mentality and sake, but for theirs as well. I mean, shoot. Everybody hating everybody else is just a horrible, horrible, wrong thing to do in this world. And they think I'm not liking them, and everybody else not liking them either. They go down. It's my fault. It's just... So, it remains a quest for me to undo the chaos and getting the analysis all to unblock and like me. Do you all hear me out there in Dimension 1218's Earth. I am usually kind, supportive, and sincere. Never, ever, ever, ever misconstrued me again. Please. Indeed, your heart and soul continues to be in the right places with lots of great care and effort. I too know how it feels to have misunderstood efforts weighed heavily against you. This discussion has been quite enlightening. Unfortunately, our time is up for now. I would love to discuss this more with you. Shall we continue on this next week? Yes, Doctor. I feel so much better being listened to. I fully understood.
How, like, weirdly healthy
You
was
really
that?
are great for what you are.
I know a lot of
Thank
people
you for
wouldn't interpret
listening.
it that way and just kind of watch this
Really
video
appreciate
as
Miss
like,
Chandler.
how weird is that? Oh, look how weird this person is doing this. If you can, like, remove yourself from that kind of thinking and watch this.
It's good to be helping.
This was soon followed by a short, so-called blooper clip from the filming process.
Got cat on the set. Hungry cat on the set.
Kirsten made her previous Twitter account public again in order to encourage people to share her latest YouTube video. She then updated her
the Chris Chan comprehensive history without the desire to dislike Chris Chan. I know it's hard. I think people want Chris Chan to be a bad person. And whenever Chris Chan does something wrong, everyone makes a huge deal about it. But I really wish that people could see it more from a different perspective. This has been a person with a disability this whole time. And the challenge is, even no matter how mild you might see some disabilities, those disabilities are a different perspective of the world and experiences. And I have feelings about it. I have feelings about it. And I see it as someone who's been watching Chris Chan since I was 21. But yeah, there's so many people, like, I get these recommendations of other people talking about Chris Chan. I can't stand other people's perspectives. I'm going to open one for a second just to, like, give a perspective. I do not support these views, okay?
It's been a weird week for one Chris Chan, Christ Chan, Christine Weston Chandler, whatever you want to call Chris at this point, but it's not been, like, interesting. I'll just come right out and say it. Like, there's very few things right now surrounding Chris that could be considered noteworthy. But like with most locales, you can find a lot of comedy in the little things that they do. And Chris has gone live a few times this month, but in these streams, he's mostly just sitting there doing art. But then as he does in every stream, he starts to read the super chats, and after like 5-10 minutes starts getting completely flustered. And then later on, I want to go check out Chris's Twitter, because he has been talking about how the ponies are causing World War III and all that again. I mean, just so much lunacy with Chris happens on a daily basis. And it's
like,
funny
you can say things from what someone's doing, but when you add that like, oh, just this lunacy, like, what are you doing?
At this point, it's considered that this is just, run-of-the-mill stuff with this guy. Talking about being Jesus Christ and thinking that some, like, pony show is so significant that it's going to cause a world war is something that should be, like, should be looked at with a huge lens. To any outsider looking in, you would think this is the most insane thing you've ever heard anyone say. But to all of us who know Chris's story, we know that it's just another Wednesday. And so, with all that being said,
people that know Chris's story that has just been wanting her to fail. There's people that have been following her story that just want her to fail. They want bad things to happen to her.
Let's get right into this, because there are a few nuggets of gold in these streams, and I've tried to edit them out and put them all here for you guys to have a good chuckle at. And we start here with this stream from about 2 weeks ago, where Chris went live to do a media share stream, where people would be able to share media with him after they donated, and he could react to it live on stream. But for some odd reason, he showed up to this live stream completely unkempt, sweating, his hair all over the place as you're seeing on stream, and people in the chat noticed this. So we'll start here, look at the few highlights there are, and I'll give you guys my opinions on it. So let's get into it.
Anyway, what's I talking about? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I was there. So that's where I was for 2 of the months. No names to be mentioned, but essentially I went with the flow. I proved myself mentally and everything. Although I will, yeah. That place just, the only one real bad thing I will mention, they strap you to a chair if you're really that bad. If you really were possessed or really outright just do anything bad, they will do that, which I have not done anything of the sort. I was blessed to not have to suffer any of that. But just an empathy, can you imagine just having your wrists restrained, having your legs restrained, having your chest restrained? That's no good. That's no good. That's not even a good thing to have in any facility of the sort whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the way he worded that absolutely makes you think that he felt the wrath of that chair. He was 100% on the other side of those restraints, and it's just something that is always going to affect Chris.
Just
being
let her
held down
exist.
is not something that
She's sharing
he can
her story
tolerate.
and her experience
he always
in the
tells the story
hospital.
about back at the school when he was a kid, and they all held him down because they didn't know how to treat an autistic person like
And that
him.
was real. That was a real thing, by the way. The thing that this guy is trying to belittle. A lot of people don't know that it wasn't until the Individuals, Disabilities and Education Act, which was in 2004, that kids with disabilities had more rights in education. And physical restraint is still to this day something that happens with kids in special education. It is the most restrictive environment and everything. There's safety holds, there's stuff that happens. And it can be traumatizing for kids. And it happened a lot more prior to 2004. And Chris Chan is older than me and everything. And in 2004, I was still in school and everything. I was in middle school going into high school and everything. Christian definitely, that means in my childhood, up until my freshman year of high school, a lot of people with autism and other disabilities didn't have as many rights to an education. Chris Chan is older than me and definitely experienced that in elementary school. And I'm just it is a traumatic thing. It is a traumatic thing. And I fully believe Chris Chan's story about what happened to her in school because, I have a master's in special education and I've learned about those holds that people do.
He freaked out about it, and it's just the way he describes it there.
Yeah.
The sheer horror in his eyes. That he had...
Safety care is incredibly important, and special educators should be trained in it and everything, but it should always be a last resort. But, when schools don't have the necessary things, environments available and training available, and get a child with disabilities prior to 2004, I 100% believe it was misused.
To be on the other side of that at one point, but does not want people to know that because then they'll think he's crazy. Obviously, some speculation there on my part, and there will be a lot more of that in just a minute here, but it's something worth pointing out. Now, the next thing Chris is about to say, though, this caught me off guard because someone asks him about the Ian Brandon Anderson name, and out of nowhere, he decides, you know what? No, that's Barb's fucking fault. Barb's the reason they called me that because of that stupid license plate.
Nope. You know what? The one that is the Ian, that would be Barbara Ann Weston Chandler because she had the IBA Weston license plate. That's where that stupid thing came from. There is no Ian. There never was. The only one that came about is just because...
Christian is just answering a question that someone asked.
Thank you very much.
And this guy is look at this fucking idiot.
But aside from that one little reaction there. Keeping it calm, keeping it cool. Everybody is blessed. Along with that, Matthew, John, consciousness, I can't remember them all at the same time. I'm only focused on what I need to know in the moment. But it's like
on this.
I mean,
I know I'm watching this. I know a lot of people are like, don't watch it. You're supporting it and everything. But I really want to give those other perspectives.
So,
on stuff like
despite being
this.
Jesus Christ himself, you know, the all-knowing Lord and Savior, he only
That's why I thought it was
knows
surprising he
two
even
books
said
in the
they,
Bible.
them
You know, it's
because
just
of this.
there's so much going on in that godly brain of his. How can you ever expect him to know that information?
Why are people still fighting against Chris Chan being a woman? Why? Like, she transitioned so long ago. So long ago. She has been living her life as a woman, but still people are trying to act like, oh, Chris Chan is just trying to, you know, just pretending to be a woman to get women. Well, she has been actively living this life for how long? It's been like 10 years? I don't know. It's just, why? This isn't a new thing she's been doing.
But it's pretty funny when you see later what information Chris does know.
Antimatter, you say that Chris is a perv. To which, like, I just could point out something that Chris Chan stated. Like, Chris Chan wasn't even, because of all the trauma that everyone put her through, because everyone thinks she's, like, this sexual deviant, and I get, like, you know, the thing that happened in 2021, but even prior to that, everyone treated her as this sexual deviant, but all the torture that she went through, she wasn't even able to, like, this is something that she stated publicly, that's why I'm sharing it. She wasn't able to masturbate anymore for like 5 years because of the trauma that everyone put her through. And it's just like she was sexually tortured as well. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Now, he also brought up there again that thing about Barb, but it was more like kind of aimed at the trolls because he says they took it and ran with it. But you can tell there's a little bit of spite there for Barbara even going out of her way to get that license plate, because in his mind it gave the trolls the ammo. But there's one other thing I wanted to bring up, and it's a lot of speculation here. I'm not accusing Chris of anything. It's just something that I feel like we should point out and talk about. Because a lot of you guys have written comments, and I've seen a lot of people say all around the internet that Chris has seemed like kind of weird in some of these clips. Like he seems like he could be on something.
This is what we've been talking about for
I
the
don't know
last,
if he is or not, but I'll show you guys two little clips here that made me think, well, it could be something. This first one here is just Chris talking a mile a minute as he gets this burst of energy out of nowhere. And the second one is Chris just feverishly rubbing his thighs with his hands. I mean, I just kind of zoomed in on the clip of him staring like crazy into the back of his hand. I don't know. You guys be the judge of it and let me know down in the comments, but I'm going to show these clips now.
So anyway, just Rarity might have misinterpreted me in that within the moment. Just obviously that was from their perspective, and they had misunderstanding. They didn't know I had a drawing to offer them, so they might just had the wrong impression about me at the moment. But hey, I mean, what do you expect? You don't know the area. You don't know. They didn't know I was autistic at that point, and they might have been in there had their own. They got their own mental problems. I mean, who doesn't have a mental problem these days? I mean, what's normal these days? Period. I mean, who's a normal individual? Nobody is neurotypical. Oh yeah, I have watched the entirety of Sonic Prime, really good. You could be donating and putting the link into the tip jar so they can watch at least a few seconds of that. That's the point of this media share. And I am not responding to that whatsoever. I'm not even looking at this because you're the fake.
I don't know, man. I've watched it back a few times, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just Chris's personality, and it damn well could be. But I don't know, the random bursts of energy, the slurring of his words, it was just never noticeable to me in the past.
Christian's always had an accent like that.
Well, there could be something there. But again, I'll toss that one to you guys, because maybe I'm just out of line on that. Who knows, though? I added in a clip at the end there, though, of Chris getting a super chat from Liquid Chris. And Chris recognized who it was immediately and shut that shit right down. I was like, nope. Not even responding to that one. You don't even. You're the imposter. So Chris knows that there's another Liquid Chris out there, and again, you'll hear him mention in a little bit here soon. And I'm not sure if Chris thinks that.
Yeah, I'm just. Everyone's so dumb. I don't know who White Bowser is. I'm not gonna point anything out on it. People are so mean. Everyone in here, I don't know if you can read all these on stream or not, but everyone in here is just so malicious. They just want to be angry. They just want to hate. And I don't like it. But here I am. I'm hating on this guy right now. I guess technically you could argue that too. This is just all mean. I don't like any of it. I just watched all that, but it just makes me upset. We have another 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I don't know how long. I don't know what to watch.
On the horizon of this forest path, you see a group of dark, cloaked figures slowly trudging towards
I've
you.
seen
What
the
do you
original
do?
of
A
this.
half-orc barbarian braces her great hammer, and that's a 1. Critical fail. Steve, what do? Well, I believe in anticipation, my rogue would try and hide behind a tree. Okay, I rolled a 1. That's another critical fail.
What's the name of the actual person for this? Okay, I'll close it. I'll close it. Never mind. Thank you, thank you, Higgs. I'm still a little drunk. I'm gonna need to like go take a bath after this and go sober up a little bit. Now we're getting all these Baldur's Gate things. I don't want spoilers. I need to play more. I love Caleb Hammer. And you guys should all be watching Caleb Hammer. It's inspiring me so much to be careful with money. I don't know what to watch. Look at this. It's Baldur's Gate all the time now. Starbucks to play a stupid card debt. I think about going on this show sometimes. But I could see the things that he would berate me for. Why are you living in an inexpensive city when you're a child with a disability and you don't make enough money to live in that city? Why would you do that? Because I'd cry, Higgs. I would cry. Go anywhere in this. Let's get to. It always starts off easy.
My name is Tyrion Carter. I'm based
it's like
in
they're
Fort Worth,
friendly and they're like, okay, that's like that. Okay, then you do that.
And what do you bring in doing the Walmart delivery?
I want to say around 500
This makes
a week,
no sense.
depending
Let's go
on
to
how much I
here.
work.
Okay, why'd you put it in your savings?
Because I just knew I had the money and I just didn't want it in my checking account because I felt like I would.
So your real
spend it.
savings is only 1,200 then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? When we have, I mean, your personal checking account.
Oh, everyone's going to
balance,
right here. Let's
your-
see. Taxes,
your
dude.
business
Let's
is
see.
like 9
It's the
paycheck
peak.
on a bi-weekly basis as well through Starbucks. Do you know your total tax liability for this past year?
No, that's a
Okay.
good question.
But in the end, even with the contracting, you did not owe additional. Did you get anything back?
Yes, I got $1,000 and
You're
$200
gonna
back.
get 1,000. Okay. Okay.
And I was literally gonna put it right back in the savings to double that kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to double it when it's $1,000. Yeah. So, are you not a saver? Because
I mean, it's not a priority, but
why?
I don't know. I like living in the moment, and if I can save, then I
Why?
go ahead and save.
Okay, so what are your financial goals? What are we trying to do here, living in the moment?
I don't know. Just
All right,
I just
everyone's
get very
rooting for
nervous when I
Caleb
hear-
Hammer recently because he got a girlfriend and like he's really good at like money, financial stuff, and everything. That you know how he does these financial audits on people. He has other people audit his dating profiles and rip it apart. And he finally got a girlfriend recently. And it's like it's big news. By the way, I love it.
If an opportunity arises, I just take it. So.
What do you mean? An opportunity that you want to do, that you like?
I would just say if it arises. So like, if my friends call me and be like, "Hey, you want to go out tonight?" Yeah, of course.
Well, we're good with spending, but do you budget? I would say no.
No.
Yeah. Or else you would have savings because, okay, how long have you been doing you went out of high school, associate's degree, so you clearly performed well there and you did what, some like AP or IB stuff and stuff like that. Okay, cool.
Why did everybody replay this part?
So awesome.
That was so boring.
Beautiful. And then you
When do you yell at him?
Now we have $521.95 from the Capital One Venture card. Dude, this is getting a...
Yell at him.
I'm moving, and the price range has been
People are showing me.
$13.50
Yell at
to
him, Caleb.
I'm comfortable with $999 being about 25% of your income. I don't like this new rent. Why?
The place I stay have like water issues. The water keeps
Most
going.
recent. He always has these really dramatic clickbait thumbnails, though. This one made me angry at this woman because she's like, she abandoned her autistic daughter to go do van life. Like, this is one that's upsetting to watch for me personally. But I like when they fight back a little bit.
Yeah,
this one, she fights back a little bit during it.
To increase your style for the things you love.
Makeup.
Yes.
My name is Karis. I'm 33. I live in Waco, and this is.
I really
Financial
recommend.
Audit.
Welcome down to Austin. What do you do for a living up there in Waco?
I am a
Watching
GIS
these videos.
analyst.
I know I'm not giving a good view of this right now.
What's GIS?
It means Geographic Information Systems, and it's a system and tool that we use to analyze geospatial data.
Who is this helping? What industry is this helping?
You use it every day, your GPS.
Oh, okay.
I'm a cartographer. I make maps.
Really?
Yes.
It's pretty fun. What are we bringing in monthly?
I'm bringing in.
Wait, Hanks, you gifted me a game tonight. It just got a notification on my phone for it.
So
I'm sorry.
In your financial life,
thank you, Hanks.
4,120. Now I know Austin's very expensive. Waco,
gifting it to me while I was buying the other one.
Price. How do you feel living there? $4,120 on a monthly basis.
I totally missed out of it.
2-bedroom. And
I've been wanting to get people in
Yes.
Discord to watch these with me. I watch these every day,
pay
like to
around
relax while I'm like doing laundry and dishes and all that. Love this.
I think I'm paying too much for that.
Yeah, it's about 40% of your net on rent. I mean, that's a big old chunk. If we start looking at the 50-30-20, it gives you 9% left for needs. That's obviously very hard. So why are you living in such an expensive place?
That was the only place I could find in a decent area that was around my budget, and I wanted to upgrade it
from my max
to a 2-bedroom. Yes.
Okay, so why do you have to be in a 2-bedroom?
I work from home, so I wanted an office.
Wanted.
Yes.
Okay. Wanted is the key word there.
Yes.
Because I worked from home a lot, and until I saved up enough money to purchase a place, I never had more than just a room for myself. I think a lot of people can attest to that.
I'm more productive doing that. I actually got a raise.
I'm sure we all are. But
I got a raise after I moved into the 2-bedroom.
So it was like 50% of your income. That doesn't really make sense. I'd love you to boost productivity, and I would love you to live in a place with more space. Just mathematically, just talking math. If it's 50%, 41% after a raise.
Me thinking about what my rent is for my income.
Like I spend most of my time at home, so
no, I get it, but you're doing a
so
want.
It's like the things I learned watching Caleb Hammer.
I've never been able to have
my rent
in my
income.
Life, so this is
terrible. I know he would berate me for not having any retirement.
Now I am.
And
I can afford
I didn't save any retirement in my 20s whatsoever, and I'm only just starting to have a retirement.
You're putting all your purchases on debt. If we're putting all our purchases on debt, which we'll go through, can you afford it? No, you're deferring where the money that would be going towards these extra purchases are being deferred onto debt because you cannot afford it because 41% of your rent, 41% of your income is going to rent. Is the rest of your needs only making up 9%?
Now,
what is it? What are my needs? What
Anything
what that
you need to survive? It'd be groceries, it'd be insurance, it'd be medical costs, it'd be your minimum monthly debt payments. It would be anything and everything that you are required to pay on a minimum.
Something like Caleb Hammer while I'm looking at apartments and homes right now.
I really don't know.
I don't know your
budget
budget
yet.
yet.
Numbers. That's why
I know what you're
Caleb.
spending.
That's why
No, I know, but I'm asking you, so you don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
So how can you say you can afford this then?
Because I don't miss a payment.
But you're putting everything else on debt. If everything else wasn't going on debt, you'd be missing payments, correct?
Yes, sir.
So can you afford it?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
No, sir.
It was as simple as that.
It is helping
But,
me.
I mean, it's important to talk about because
No
I need to change your
taquitos.
mind
No
around that. Because if your
taquitos,
mind
guys.
is immediately like, oh, I can't afford this by going into debt, I need to correct that immediately because that's going to lead you down a dangerous place for the remainder of your life, no?
Yes.
Give yourself a score, 0 to 10. Your financial score. I have a Hammer financial score. Give yourself a score 0 to 10.
What are the factors that?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you've seen the show, so you know what Hammer financial score is.
I've only seen a couple.
You click out before the Hammer.
Why are you on here?
Yeah, and a lot of you do that too. Okay, so the way I calculate the Hammer financial score, just for ease.
Oh,
is
he's
the
a
template.
slept for. Was it? I think it's slept for dividends.
I do it
or
across
something.
5 different categories.
No, it's
one
not for
being
index
age-based being
funds.
retirement. The rest just being based on where you are and where you're trying to get to in the end. 0 being the absolute worst, 10 being the absolute best. Spending in a budget, your debt, your emergency fund, your retirement. and
It's
your
his
real
own
estate.
merch.
Where would you suggest you are? 0 to 10. Best guess.
0.
Oh wait, Higgs, I have a cookie
So
question for
0.5.
you.
Okay. If you want to get your Hammer
When
financial
you
score, you can
got
get it
the
for free in the
cookies
description
before,
below, by the way. It's a fun
You
little thing.
requested them to be matcha cookies,
So
but that's when you
let's start
thought
with the
they
debt
were for
then,
me.
because again, this is
What's your
this is what
favorite
started to trip me
cookie?
immediately at
And
the
text me
beginning.
so I
We're
don't
like,
forget it.
yeah, you can afford things.
I'm out of it.
Bank of America, everyone loves everyone's favorite bank.
I've been there since I was 13, so.
Okay.
You wanted the I thought you didn't want the matcha
what
because
was
you
the credit
thought because
card?
I thought you did this thing where you thought I don't know, misunderstand. Okay, I
couple
got
months
you.
ago?
I got
Opened this
you
a couple
then.
months ago.
Yes, I'm trying to boost my credit.
Why?
Stop.
Why?
Because it's not the greatest.
No, that's
Or was
fine.
it?
But what are you trying to take advantage of credit-wise? You're only getting taken advantage of by credit. You're
Yeah.
not taking advantage of any credit. I mean, you're getting. I mean, you have 2 Credit One accounts in here. If we see someone with a Credit One account, they're pretty much the bottom of the barrel when it comes to any use of credit in the world. So, what credit? Like, you boost the credit score to take advantage of credit, but credit's only ever taken advantage of you. So, what credit are you trying to take advantage of by boosting your credit?
I did boost my credit.
Yeah, what credit are you trying to take advantage of by boosting your credit?
What do you mean?
What credit are you trying to take advantage of by boosting your credit? You boost your credit to take
that
advantage of
they gave
credit.
me. The credit that they offered me.
So you're trying to boost your credit so you can take out more debt, more of this credit card debt.
I mean, it's also for
Yeah.
emergencies. I'd never had an emergency credit card.
A busy schedule shouldn't mean
No ad.
sacrificing your needing
No
a
ad.
30 meal
No
pre or
ad.
cooking restaurant
No
you
ad.
are level coding
No.
order.
No, I'm
curbside
too tired.
restriction.
Oh, away.
I understand that life happens and some people have to use a card in case of emergency. That's when we sit down and we're like, okay, this happened. Now let's aggressively pay it off and cut back on everything other than a life's necessities. What keeps us going to pay it off. Okay, that's different. What obviously we try to do is have a fully funded emergency fund. Based on your choices and where a lot of the spending goes to, this pie chart's insane, by the way. We'll get there. I think you could have had a fully funded emergency fund if you were a mature adult when it came to your money. I mean, you're 33 years old.
Correct.
So a lot of this comes down to choice. So you're right. You might not have had the opportunity.
No.
I think a lot of that comes down to your choice and behavior. So what purpose, again, are you trying to increase your credit for? Because I
But were
need to
you
correct this
terrified?
mindset immediately. But at first, I need to understand.
I'm so out of
What
it,
are you trying to
sorry.
take advantage of with a good credit score? What are you trying to do?
Oh, what are my future goals by having
To be
a good
honest,
credit
yeah,
score?
Sure.
he's on it.
I'm sorry.
He's
I'm just
very
trying to-
intelligent.
Yeah, what are you trying to
About
take
what he
advantage of?
does.
I want to
like-
answer correctly.
Okay. No, it's okay.
Uh,
I know. I get in the zone.
And
I
he
would
also
like-
prioritizes mental health as well.
to purchase a home one day, and if
Okay.
I ever did need a loan, I would like to be able to get one at a low interest.
Okay. So that's our overall primary goal when it comes to increasing credit. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I get that, and that makes sense, and that is obviously a place that I would want anyone to get to.
Yeah, when
What
he goes
scares
to
me
the
with you
payments.
trying to take advantage
Oh.
of these different things is, again, right now, and historically, with what we've gone through, you've taken advantage of nothing that has benefited you. You've only been taken advantage of by companies that get people to go into debt. So you opening a credit card, putting $3,298 on it, you know, your monthly income when our rent's already 40%.
I returned a lot of the stuff, and I paid
Oh, no,
it
no, no.
off.
Oh, I saw the credits.
And-
Even still, after the credits and stuff, we're sitting at $2,062 with the minimum monthly payment of $35. Okay.
And when I got my bonus, I paid off another 1,000.
So it's at 1,000.
Yes. He also has like 2 to 3 videos a week.
No, it's at 1,200.
It's fantastic because he's able. Any
you know where
everyone
that bonus could have gone?
that works for him and edits his videos makes
that
6
bonus could have gone
figures.
contributing to retirement because I don't know how much is in your retirement. How much is in your retirement? I didn't get a retirement statement.
It's crazy.
Yeah, there's nothing in there.
Oh, that's interesting because where'd the bonus go to? It went to paying off this. Do you know what a pink line means here? This lovely little pinky orange color. You know what it means?
Clothes.
Bullshit is what it entails. So let's go here. Let's do a little thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 purchases out of 40, maybe 40, 35, 40. 6 purchases that are not guaranteed to be. Some of them probably are, but are not guaranteed to be. The rest of them, bull. And that's where you had to put your bonus to because you put $3,500 on this card, $3,900.
Yes.
That could be going towards retirement. That could be putting a down payment down on this future house that you want to do that you're trying to increase your credit score in order to be able to do. You're not going to be able to do that if you don't save up enough money for a down payment. You're not going to save up enough money for a down payment if you're just going express every second of your life.
I needed new clothes.
Oh, you did not need new clothes the way we're about to go through these statements. This is one of the craziest things. This is one of the craziest things my team and I have ever gone through in terms of going to one place a million billion times.
I didn't go there. I went online and I bought it all.
Better.
And then they charge separately when they send it out. So I know it looks kind of crazy.
Listen, this is all I'm saying.
I returned a lot of it because when you buy online, you have to buy 2 of everything because they might not fit you.
You return 4 things on here.
In bulk.
On other accounts, you return some more things. But again, with the payments and the returns, you brought it down to like $2,500 of purchases, and you still had to throw a $1,000 bonus towards that, which could have gone towards other things. If you said you needed new clothes, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Let's go to Target. Let's just.
I can't shop at Target.
Why?
Because I wear special sizes, especially in pants. Everything I wear is long.
Okay, and Target does not have what you have.
No.
But Express does?
Yes, and Old Navy. They carry.
Old Navy.
I know. I wanted to gatekeep this, but they do carry long sizes.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'8", and I have a little bit longer legs than my torso.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like
not
proportional legs.
Like crazy.
Hi, Aurora.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Like before that, I'd always wear like high waters.
I made a happy anniversary by 13 hours. Woo!
And like during the winter, it sucked because I had to wear high waters with long socks. That's how I'd keep warm.
No.
Anniversary's over, but we're still watching this. Sorry.
Did you own any clothes?
Yes.
Before this?
Yes.
Cool. So why do we go on thousands and thousands of dollars of a shopping trip? If we needed new clothes, I'm okay with a trip and we get a couple little things from Old Navy, especially. Express is kind of expensive. I only go there because I get a 50% discount because one of my best friends works there.
Yes, I got everything clearance or on sale.
Clearance or on sale?
Yes.
That starts to help, but Express is still a little expensive. Old Navy I'm good with. That place is pretty cheap. But needing clothes, I'm like, okay, we can get some clothes. Again, you went on shopping sprees, my dude. You went on shopping sprees. So I think we can all accept a little bit of the excuse, but I can't accept 90% of it. Because what we're about to go through is some of the, again, one of the most insane things I've ever seen. And do not try to justify it because you know it's, you did not need this many brand new pieces of clothes.
Okay.
Correct? Did you need this many brand new pieces of clothes?
Well, my reasoning behind this is also I'm trying to build a wardrobe that every piece is that I want to love it. I don't want it.
Okay, so
I don't want to.
This becomes a want.
It's more like I'm trying to save time because you know when you look in your closet and you can't find anything, and you always pick out the things that you love. I don't want to struggle with that anymore.
That is want, and that's a privileged statement.
Yes, it is.
That's an aggressively privileged statement.
Yes.
Clothes is to keep you warm, my dude. And I want you to have more than that. I want you to have more than that.
I will.
Okay, yeah, hopefully not all on debt while putting a bonus towards it. Sure. But what you're talking about is very much a want. And it's not me saying, oh, you shouldn't be able to do that. I'm not saying that. You're literally putting off retirement and you're building up more debt to do it. You're doing it in a very stupid, childish way.
Okay. I'm sorry. I know. That's why I'm here.
Don't apologize to me. It doesn't impact me. Yeah, exactly. Apologize to yourself. Because Amazon, Chick-fil-A. Yeah, that's going to help. Get. I was going to say something and then people are going to think I'm fat shaming. Okay. Chick-fil-A, Smoke Depot. What's that going to help? What's that going to help? That's not helping anything. That's just hurting you. Yeah, you go there every second of your life. What do? What's your addiction?
No, nicotine. I vape.
Yeah. Not a great addiction.
She has such white teeth.
You go there
a week. I go there
oh my gosh.
once a week.
I'm going to bed in a minute.
It's a lot.
You guys should watch the rest of this, though. You're right. We should go to bed. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. I hope you guys had fun. You're going to be vaping forever, too. Hi, chat. I hope you had fun with Mr. Mime and lip gloss and everything. All the fun. Thank you, guys. Have a good night's sleep. Bye-bye. I'm going to go take a bath till I sober up. See how that goes. Goodbye. Wait, we should probably, do we even have any viewers after all the YouTube? I should read someone anyway. There's always someone that could probably use more viewers. You know? It's a good thing to do. I think. Yay! Let's find out. Ooh, Ape Escape! Is it in English? Let's go for Ape Escape tonight. Oh man, the quality's mwah. Okay. Good night, guys. Good night.